Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Haley Bieber, back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast, and as always, I'm joined by Babby and Paul.
Hello.
That was not the name I was expecting. Oh my god.
What were you expecting me to say?
Just not that one.
Oh.
Is she like in the hospital?
Oh, yikes, man.
Today we have a slam dunk episode planned for you guys. I was gonna say how great it is to have Paul on the podcast regularly. Because
For now.
that intro, it really flows better.
It does flow better.
And that's the only reason I enjoy having Paul on the podcast is for the intro. So yeah, I guess if you're new to the podcast, Paul, our second co-host, is not going to be on regularly in like a couple episodes, but he's going to be guest starring for about a month-ish.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. Not at all set schedule. The class I'm planning on starting, the 28th one, has literally one spot left. I just finished the online part, and I don't know if I'm going to be fighting for someone for it, but if I don't get it, I have to wait till the 15th the next month. So we'll see.
Okay, so we'll take things by a day-by-day basis.
Yeah.
But for now, Paul will be on for the foreseeable future, and we will let you know when it is Paul's last week on the podcast.
And I'll be on for literally ever.
Yes.
Not, but oh well.
That would be so sad if we never talk to Paul ever again.
Oh, very sad.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the podcast audience really has been responding to Paul well, so I think it would be in our best interest to maybe talk to you a little bit when you're on the road. Maybe you can call in trucker radio style. It would be pretty epic.
Okay.
Only issue with that is I'm planning on doing either a local or a home nightly regional, so I'd still be home anyways, just exhausted.
Just sit in the truck.
Can you at least say breaker? This is what do you want your call sign to be?
Doofus.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to say breaker. This is doofus.
Yeah.
What's the 1094 on the 86 highway? I don't know how truckers talk.
Neither do I.
Okay.
I
Well,
haven't gone through that course yet.
oh, do they have a course on how trucker radio works?
Someone's probably made
sure
a
they do.
YouTube video on it, I'm sure.
Okay, well,
Show some YouTube series on there.
that's true. You gotta take that class before you start trucking, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you can't tell that we're stalling a bit, we're stalling a bit. It's been a very slow week. Which, good and a bad thing, because our last couple of weeks have been really packed. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we've had 3 or 4, like, hour and a half long episodes. So, this one might be a little shorter, but, I say that every time. But this time I'm hopeful that I will be truthful in that. But we
It's
don't
over
have
an hour. I'm just leaving the call. Not coming back.
Oh, okay. Well, then we better start then. What do we even start with anymore? Do we start with gaming?
I don't
Sure.
know. I just got back.
Gaming. There wasn't a whole lot. I'm still playing Elden Ring. It's the longest game I've ever played, I think. So I don't know when I'll beat it, but I will give final thoughts when I'm done with it. I'm still enjoying it for the most part. I'm getting to the point where I'm like going back to old places and finding stuff that I missed, and that's kind of awesome. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. But for now, there's only been one bit of gaming news. There was a PlayStation State of Play that was Wednesday, I want to say. And this one, A lot of people were hoping that God of War was going to be there, but I don't think they read the part in the tweet that said this was going to focus on their Japanese studios. And when I read that, I immediately got worried because Sony and Japanese studios are anime games. And I was like, that's not going to be great. But some people pointed out that this could be From Software, or it could be Kojima, which would be kind of funny to get another Death Stranding trailer. So I was hopeful that there would be something goofy, and there really wasn't. I watched. I don't think I watched it. I had it on in the background as I was doing something else, and like I even had it muted. I didn't care. There was so many dumb anime games announced. Like they announced a prequel to the new Final Fantasy game that hasn't even come out yet.
Let's go.
I was like, who cares? No, you haven't even.
Final Fantasy.
I know you do. But Final Fantasy 16 hasn't even come out yet, and this is an origin to one of the characters in Final Fantasy 16. So I don't know who's excited for this.
See, it ties the story all together. You'll know.
I won't, because I'm not going to play Final Fantasy 16.
It really puts a bow on the series that doesn't have any like naming conventions that work.
Yeah. Frankly, I haven't played the first 15 games, so
Yeah.
I might be lost in terms of the story.
Oh,
Except I
okay.
don't think they're connected at all. Because I know Cloud, that's the guy from Final Fantasy 7. That's the big one. But, like, Cloud hasn't been in any of the other ones, so I don't know. Is it like an anthology? If you're a Final Fantasy nerd, leave a comment on the YouTube comments and then tell us how idiotic we are for trying to figure out Final Fantasy, even though I'm pretty sure it has one of the most complex and, you know, whatever storylines ever. I was going to say
Lore.
dumb, but that would be offensive.
It has the lore.
It does have the lore. So, yeah, there was a lot of anime games. There was that, a couple Square games. There was, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was this new Square IP. Or is it Square or Capcom? I don't remember. It's one of those two, but where it's like mechs and there's dinosaurs.
Oh,
So-
I'm interested.
Yeah, I knew you would be interested. But there,
You know.
because you're a big dinosaur fan.
Yeah, I rarely talk about it because there's not much to talk about, but I do love me a good dinosaur.
Well, then this is the game for you, because
Nice.
this is a alternate universe where,
Where dinosaurs existed.
well, yes, but even more than that, there are like randomly portals will open in big like, you know, metropolitan areas, and then there are like special task force that dress up in mech costumes and fight dinosaurs.
A 10-year-old came out for this game.
Yeah.
You can't tell me otherwise.
It was pretty weird because like it starts off and it's like the news, and the news person's like, expect a dinosaur storm sometime today at 3 p.m. and then it cuts to like a giant portal that's like ripping the city apart. It's like, all right. I forgot. It's called like I don't remember what it's called. Let me just search
Super
Square.
Mega Dino Metropolitan Mecca.
Probably.
2.
I searched Square dinosaur game and I didn't put Enix in it. That nothing is coming up. It's Exoprimal. That's what it's called. The headline from The Gamer is Exoprimal looks less like Dino Crisis and more like Dino Anthem, which we all know how Anthem.
I love Anthem.
So I think that's what they opened the state of play with, and I'm like, okay, well, if that's what they're starting with, then this is gonna be a bad state of play. And I was correct for the whole thing. It was only 20 minutes long, which normal state of plays are 40 to 50. They don't usually go for an hour unless it's something really big for E3 or something. but this was very short. There was one cool game that they showed, and of course it was a Devolver game, as the resident Devolver stan. There was it's like, it looked like a mix between Sifu and Ghost of Tsushima, where it's like a sword fighting, like beat 'em up kind of thing. It looked like Sifu though, where it's like you kind of gotta hit them a little bit and then they just die, but it looks kind of tough. I don't think we got a release date for that, but that's called Trek to Yomi. So one to check out, I guess. But that was the only thing that was even like moderately interesting during the whole state of play. So I just thought I'd bring it up because I did watch it, and I don't want to research for nothing. You kidding me? So that was that. And I think I have the most show news, so we'll go into the movie news. And this is less like movie news and more like I don't know, just an interesting interview that I saw from a Pixar employee. Because I don't think it's connected to the new Pixar movie. There is a new Pixar movie out. If you didn't hear about it, I haven't been seeing a whole lot of buzz for it. It's that Seeing Red movie, where she turns into a red panda, and it looks like an allegory for puberty.
Or turning into a furry.
Or
through
turning
radical means.
Yes, by
Either
having
one.
your family be cursed by the spirit of
By
the
having
red
someone
panda.
bite you at FurCon, and then your
Oh.
child has some furry DNA in them or something.
That's
I didn't know, I didn't watch
interesting.
the trailer.
I did, and that's
True
not
lore.
what it is.
True lore.
I wish that's what it was, because that would be a very interesting story. But we don't usually talk like politics, and I'm not really gonna bring it up. But
Don't
there
even.
has been some things in Florida and Disney surrounding the "Don't Say Gay" bill that people want Disney to stop it, and I don't know how Disney would stop it, but I guess they would just throw a bunch of money at DeSantis and
That's literally all you have to do is throw money at them.
Yeah.
You're half of your state's economy.
Oh, that's true.
This is the one time where liberal like virtuing, where it's like boycott this company. This is the only time it'll work.
Okay.
This mega corporation can take up like over 50% of your state's economy.
Well, that I didn't know, but that does make sense with Disney World. So there's been some stuff with it, and a Pixar employee came out and answered some questions that I have actually been seeing as a Pixar fan. You know, sometimes I've seen some, people who want to get into it, who are just general fans of animation, but they are a little bit, I guess, thrown by Pixar. You know, Pixar has a long history of like straight white character, well, not white necessarily, but straight dude characters. Because, I guess Tom Hanks is white, and like Billy Crystal and John Goodman are white, but they're playing like toys and monsters and cars and fish. So I guess there is that element to it. But like even recently, like you don't get a whole lot of like female representation, and if you do, then generally they're like side characters. Like the most recent one, other than Turning Red, which is mostly a female cast and characters, Luca. The main characters in that movie are two boys, and then I guess the only two girls that matter are Luca's mom, who's overprotective and kind of a cliche, and like the friend, like there's like a side friend that is a girl. So like, there isn't a whole lot of diversity in terms of stories at Pixar, and I think that's kind of surprising, especially if you have seen these like Spark shorts that they do on Disney Plus, where they do tend to get a little bit more diverse. They have they're more like experimental stuff where they like get just general animation people and give them the reins to tell their story. So you do kind of get so many different ideas from so many different kinds of people. And they did have one that was by a gay person that had a gay couple in it, that was all about coming out, which was a very good one. I don't remember what it's called. It might just be called Coming Out. I don't remember. But, after seeing those, it's a little bit weird that they don't transfer that same diversity into their main stories that become features. And Pixar basically, yes. Well, this answers that question. Pixar, one of the employees came out, an unnamed Pixar employee came out, and I think you'll see why, that Disney has been censoring every single moment of overt gay affection in their films. So even if it's like someone in the background, like in like Rise of Skywalker, where there's like a gay kiss at the end of Rise of Skywalker, and everyone got either mad at Disney for not having them be the main stars of the show, or mad at Disney because you're infecting the kids with gay people do not exist in Star Wars, obviously. But it turns out that and I have a couple quotes here from this employee. They say, "We at Pixar have personally witnessed beautiful stories full of diverse characters come back from Disney corporate reviews shaved down to crumbs of what they once were. And even if creating LGBT content was the answer to fixing the discriminatory legislation in the world, we are being barred from creating it." So I thought that was a really eye-opening interview. Well, not necessarily. Like, it was just kind of confirmed some suspicions. Because it was always just like, Disney wants to appease China because that's a very big market for them. So having overtly gay things in their movies, that obviously is a big turnoff. So
that also hurts American audience.
It does too.
Yeah.
But so you got your two big markets that would create some backlash, which is weird because I think in terms of like innovation and stuff, I think Pixar takes the reins a lot and pushes the technological side forward. I just wish they would push the story stuff a little bit more, because their last few movies have been fine. Like, I think Soul was pretty good. Definitely a step in the right direction. But between like Coco and Soul, they did a lot of like Finding Dory and like Incredibles 2, which are like fine movies, but nothing compared to like, The Incredibles 1 or, any of the earlier ones, which sounds bad because that's what I grew up with, but modern Pixar just doesn't have that same kind of magic.
Half is sequels and the other half are kind of like just passable Pixar.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Luca was fine. It wasn't like my favorite movie ever. I think
Encanto's got more of a fan base than the past two Pixar movies, so that should play well.
And Encanto is just kind of passable.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's better than Raya and the Last Dragon, but that's not saying a whole lot. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I probably will watch Turning Red sometime this week. I guess I can give a short little discussion about that next week, but I have not seen that. But I do need to look up this person's name. I like their last work. It is Domi Shi. She's a Chinese Canadian. I guess now she's a director, but she was just an animator. But I think like her, I don't know a whole lot about her, but I know that her family, in some sense, like she's half Chinese, so she's like, she knows that culture. And the last thing that she made was Bao, that short that played before Incredibles 2.
Banger.
Yeah. One of my favorite shorts, about the dumpling kid that the mom eats, and then it turns out it's her son all along. It's a very, very good short. Yeah, it's very sad. But, after that short, Pixar was like, you know what, you need to make a whole movie. And that's who made Turning Red. So very interested in it, so I will watch it. And then I guess we'll see what happens with Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear later this summer in June. This summer. It's their big summer blockbuster.
Oh boy.
I don't know why.
If Buzz Lightyear was mixed with Doom Guy, then that's what
The least interesting Toy Story character.
Yeah.
It's a whole movie about
they
it.
they should have made a story about Slinky Dog.
I would have loved that. I love the Slinky Dog.
I don't know if you could do that because the guy who
Probably
played
not.
him
There's
died.
probably not out there. Yeah, also that.
Well, yeah.
It's in post.
No, wait. Well, the guy who played Slinky Dog in Toy Story 1 died, and then he was replaced. The guy who
so it
played
is
Mr.
possible.
Potato Head died before Toy Story
Okay.
4. That's why he's barely in it. They just took
So it's
unused
doable then.
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just they can't do a Mr. Potato Head thing. Which wait, didn't they like rename Mr. Potato Head? And there was like a big stink about it because
yeah,
they
I
were like
remember,
they're taking
yeah.
the Mister out of our potato heads.
That's just conservative bait, I think.
Yeah. Well,
You're
there's
telling me I can't bang the green M&M and I can't say Mr. Potato Head?
it still says. Oh, I guess they're just called potato heads now.
Oh, okay.
God dang it! They have no gender. How do
Remember
I
what they took from you.
identify?
How do I
Why
know
can't I
if I
have
can?
everything in my life gendered? This is crazy.
Why can't? How do I know if I
makes
can
life
be
easy.
sexually attracted to this potato unless you put a Mister in front
It's
of
true.
it? I don't know. I'd like a Woody, but wait. I would like a Woody movie.
Pause.
Very funny joke.
Hold up.
But I'm just a fan of westerns, so
It'll be fun. I
it would
like
be
that.
fun. And yeah, I got to get Tom Hanks. I understand not going for Tim Allen because if if evolution was real, why is there monkeys and all?
Evolution is real. Why is Tim Allen?
That's a good point. He is very clearly a bonobo.
Yes. Sculpted by Christ himself and sent down
That's so true.
to play Tim the Tool Man.
To try
Batman Tool Man.
Yes.
Tim Tattoo Man Taylor. But yeah, I like Chris Evans. So I don't know. I'll probably watch it because it's gonna be the first Pixar movie in theaters, and I missed that experience. But don't watch it if you're ambivalent.
I guess I won't.
Okay. And the only other thing of news I have is some show news. Because, yeah, I guess that's what this podcast has turned into. It's just show news.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I already talk
Pause it.
about? I thought I already talked about the Arkham Asylum spinoff show.
I have no idea, honestly.
I don't remember it.
Okay. So I'm just going to talk about it.
No,
then.
he's still me.
Okay. Well, I'll tell Paul, and if the audience has heard it, then they're going to hear it again, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, the
Understand.
Batman came out, and it was I don't know if it was a huge success. I think it got $400 million so far. I don't know if
Big.
that's good. I mean, it's probably good. I don't know what the budget was. But it's a box office smash, and everybody's loving it. Everybody thinks it's the best movie. It even passed the Grant test, which
Impossible.
I know. Our movie friend Grant infamously hates every good movie and likes every bad movie. And even he liked this movie, so a very big surprise.
Impossible.
I saw on his Letterboxd he gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Mm.
So he really liked it.
Okay.
Which is also the rating I gave it, but my ratings don't carry as much weight as
Yeah, because
His
you're
do.
just, I don't know what your bell curve is like, but
my bell curve skews towards 4 stars out of 5.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's better than normal, but it's not perfect, which we did talk about last week. But we know that there's going to be 2 spin-off shows. We got The Penguin. That one officially got, announced this week. by HBO Max. I think it was like for sure happening, but then like they were waiting until the movie came out and how people reacted to it to be like, yes, it is happening. So the Penguin one is officially coming out. We've talked about this. I think they're trying to go for TVMA for the spinoff. So I guess we'll see how that goes. And then the second one is Arkham Asylum themed. I think we talked about it that maybe I didn't. But yeah, we got this spin-off show. Originally it was going to be based on the police, and then they changed it a complete 180, which I think is for the better because that would be really boring, or just basic because how many cop shows are there like right now? Probably like 20.
At least.
That's probably lowballing it. So they're like, no, let's not do that. Let's just do a show about like a bunch of, I don't know, insane criminals. I don't know. But this one is going to be more horror-esque. So if the Penguin one is going to be a crime show, this one's going to be a horror show. Matt Reeves said, it's like a horror movie, a haunted house that is Arkham. So that's pretty scary. He said that, he kind of made Gotham a character in the movie. He really wants Arkham to exist as a character, which I do agree. Gotham was, the first like 20 minutes is establishing Gotham as its own kind of entity in the Batman. Not overtly, but just kind of giving it the feel. So I don't know. That's the second spinoff. That one hasn't been officially like announced by HBO Max, but Matt Reeves has talked about it like 2 or 3 times in interviews confirming it. So I feel pretty solid about reporting on it. So there's that. There's the first bit of news. The second bit of news. Does anyone like Jeff Bezos?
Take that as a no.
Okay, I guess nobody likes Jeff Bezos.
I thought it was a rhetorical question.
I was sincerely
Good question.
asking.
Okay, no.
Okay.
Final answer.
Fine. I appreciate that. Well, he's in charge of the new God of War live action show.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Yay. I hope he casts himself as the main character.
That would be pretty funny.
That would be so funny.
Boy. Well, I don't know.
Impression.
I don't know what era of God of War this is going to be, because it's either going to be Greek God of War, where he's just murdering every Greek god in existence, or it's going to be modern God of War, where he just walks to a mountain with his son, which is the better
I'm
one.
gonna go with modern. Yeah.
I hope it's the modern one, but I could also see this being like a prequel show for people who haven't played the original games to kind of get the story of the old stuff. We don't know anything. It was just announced that Amazon's working on it. We don't even know who's going to be cast as Kratos, which personally I'm hoping for David Cross. I think that would be pretty funny.
That would be a great show.
I agree.
I want David Cross to be Kratos, and I want Henry Cavill to be the boy.
Just a complete 180. Well, it would be weird if Henry Cavill was Kratos and then David Cross was the boy.
That could work too, but I feel like David Cross being Kratos is going to be a lot more entertaining.
That's true.
Because like Henry Cavill will have to act like he doesn't know how to do anything.
That's true. That is
Just
true.
towering over this man.
And he's supposed to be like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That could be funny. Huh. Yeah, I don't
Normalize
know.
not taking series seriously.
Yeah,
You gotta just like here's a franchise, let's just mess it up and make it funny. Because like nobody cares.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how God of War fanboys feel about this. Because I'm just a fan of the recent game. I haven't played any of the other ones. but God of War has a very dedicated fan base to it. So I don't know what they think. I'd like my fan cast for Kratos. My for real one is probably Idris Elba, just because it would be funny.
He could be a good Kratos.
I don't know who would you even get? James Earl Jones? He's too old. But I'm trying to think of someone who has that voice.
I mean, Kratos is pretty old. So
He is pretty old, but like James Earl Jones doesn't act anymore. He's like that old. Let me see how old
pretty
he
old.
is. Yeah, he's 91. I don't think he's gonna be coming back.
You never know. You never know.
They can like wheel him in to do Darth Vader voice, but they can't like, get him to do Field of Dreams or something. So I don't know. I don't know who has that low of a voice where they can get him.
just edit it in post.
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah, it's weird. It's live action, so it's already gonna look weird. But I guess we'll see. I don't know if any good Amazon shows have ever been made. Although I guess The Boys has been pretty well received. And The Marvelous Miss Maisel wins every single time it releases a season.
True.
And Invincible, I guess that's technically Amazon. And Doom Patrol has Brendan Fraser in it, so that gets a pass for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They're also making that Lord of the Rings show, which hopefully that's good. It's the most expensive show ever made, so that means it's got to be good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll see in September. But speaking of trailers for things, this is really going to make the "Is the Kenobi trailer out yet?" Twitter account happy, but the Kenobi trailer is out now. For some reason, it keeps suggesting that Twitter account to me every single day, and every day it just tweets, "No, the trailer is not out yet." Well, it is out. It came out this week. We got our first look at Ewan McGregor as an old, well, not the oldest Obi-Wan, because the oldest Obi-Wan is in episode 4. But an old-ish Obi-Wan looking after Luke. It looks like he's like going to work and just kind of like chilling in Tatooine. Which, if that was the whole show, I think I would be pretty happy with that. It would not be a good show at all, where it's just Obi-Wan going to work and then occasionally dropping by like Luke's house and being like, "Hey, hello, I am here to deliver some water to you." And then it would just be like that for like 10 episodes, and everyone would hate it. But I would be the only one that would be like, "This is kind of awesome that they did this."
I'll send word to the uppers.
Yeah, please send an email to Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah,
I'm sure she would read it.
I know
She's ignored all of my emails, but you can try.
You sit on the poll Paul has. Paul's
That's
got
true.
connections.
Yeah, I got them connections, my guy.
Yeah, I know you've been to Skywalker Ranch more than a couple times.
Yeah.
So, maybe you got the pull. But unfortunately, Obi-Wan is not just going to be going to work and then going home and then chilling out and reminiscing on the old days. It turns out that there's actually going to be a plot, which is very disappointing, frankly.
That is kind of stupid.
I know. But in the Star Wars mythos, there is the Inquisitors, which is a Disney invention, that in between episodes 3 and 4, there were these people who used the Force, but they weren't Sith or anything, but they would just hunt Jedi that have escaped the Jedi Purge. And so it seems like that the whole show is going to be Obi-Wan running away, or I guess fighting Inquisitors. And one of the Inquisitors is from Rebels, and they absolutely did my boy dirty. And I didn't even like that character in Rebels, but they tried to do this thing where they tried to adapt the animated style to the live action. But the animated style, his head is an oval that is 2 heads tall. because he's like an alien, and in the show they just gave him a weird head shape. It's like, ooh, that doesn't look good. Which I wouldn't bring it up, but everybody's kind of had that issue, so I'm glad I'm not the only one. But they're not gonna fix it because it comes out in 2 months. So, yeah, that's fine.
And for the like 6 month delay, hey, we heard your feedback and we're gonna change this guy's head real quick.
I don't think they're gonna pull a Sonic and like redo everything, deep fake his head. Although I guess they did that with Luke, so I don't know. Maybe I doubt
never
it.
know.
I never know. I guess I'll save all judgment until it comes out. But I did. I thought the trailer was pretty good. John Williams is actually coming back, doing the score for this show. The little bit of it we got in the trailer was very nice. Typical John Williams stuff, so it's very good. A lot of horns. But I'm excited. Comes out on May 25th. So there you go. That's about it. Oh, Ewan McGregor looks pretty hot too. He grew his hair out. Yeah. So I'm used to him having like, like nowadays he kind of has like shorter hair. And when he played Obi-Wan, it was a little bit longer.
He did that Super Bowl commercial. It was pretty short.
That's true. Was that for crypto?
No, it was a debate. There was a crypto thing in it, but I don't think it was a crypto ad.
Okay,
I
good.
think it was like a travel ad or something. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm searching Ewan McGregor Expedia.
Expedia,
Yeah. Okay, so it's not crypto. He's still good.
Yeah, we're chilling.
For now. Let me just search Ewan McGregor NFT and see if anything comes up.
I'm sure someone made it on the Ethereum market or something.
Wait, what? Oh, these never.
These
I found
NFTs
NFTs of Ewan McGregor. I haven't found him.
Anybody can make an NFT. There's like not. There's an NFT of probably everything.
I just wanted to see if he was like super into him
yeah.
and pushing them out like some celebrities
You'd
do.
probably know. People wouldn't shut up about it if he did.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't even know if he has a Twitter. No, he doesn't. Okay. So we're probably good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I don't know. He looks hot. He's a little bit older, but, I don't know. He's still a cutie patootie in my book. But that's all the news I have.
Epic.
Yeah, so you can do music.
Great. Segue. This week was very long things, but we'll start with the not long stuff.
Okay.
Benny the Butcher. Tana Talk 4 came out. I forgot to talk about that last week, that was coming up. I honestly forgot about it.
Wow.
But it is out. We had the first single with J. Cole like a month ago. Obviously fantastic, but the whole album holds up, which is good, because if it's under the Tana Talk series, it has to be really good. Otherwise, people are going to crucify you. But
yes,
this definitely lives up. Fantastic. You have Alchemist and Derringer kind of going back and forth with beat selection. So it's a super competitive, like, I love how competitive Griselda is. Not a lot of rappers anymore are like competitive like they were in the 90s, where they're just trying to bar over everybody else. And if they do say that, they're not really doing it. But Benny holds his own. But you got the producers going at war. You got Alchemist, you got Derringer, and they're both incredibly good beat makers. So having both of them on a project is a cheat code.
yes.
But features are fantastic. Stove God's fantastic. Boldy James fits very well. Diddy's a weird feature, but on the song he's on, it makes sense. And I think he just does a spoken word thing. I don't think he does any rapping, which is good.
You don't like Diddy?
I mean, he's kind of cringy now. He's like one of those like real estate dudes, where he's like business mindset 100% of the time. So it's kind of weird to hear that.
Real estate.
Yeah.
I like him in Always Sunny.
Yeah. But 38 Special did great. But every feature did fantastic. But yeah, it's a really enjoyable 40 minutes. It's, again, Griselda. This is probably one of the better Griselda releases the past couple of years. I think it's got more of a weight to it. There was a point there where they were all just kind of dropping every couple months, and it just kind of felt like it wasn't exactly like living up to the notoriety that the projects get. But this one definitely holds up as one of the best in his catalog. But I don't know, just a lot of fun.
That's good.
Conway went more of the introspective route. Benny went like the I'm the best in the game right now route. So it's a lot more flashy. It's a lot more in your face. And it's a lot more just like noticeably like he's in the modern day Jay-Z mentality, which is kind of what was put on him. But I like Burden of Proof was nice, even though it did feel like a Jay-Z like Blueprint type project where the production was more polished. It was more commercial-ish sounding, which is what Jay-Z does. But this one, I love the grimy piano beats. I love how old school everything sounds. That's the stuff I really like from Griselda. So good work. Best hip hop album of the year, probably.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say that so far.
Even better than The Thief.
That's the most hip hop album I've ever heard in my life.
That's the most hip hop album you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, this one takes the best hip hop album for sure. So someone's got to live up to that. I don't know who. I guess album announcement. Billy Woods has a new album coming out April 8th. His first solo project since 2019, I think.
Wow.
I think there's been 3 Arm& Hammer records released between that period. But I'm excited for him to get a solo project back out because Hiding Places was the last one he did, and Hiding Places is one of my favorite albums of all time. So, I'm super excited for that. He's got a ton of features from like late 90s, early 2000s underground New York rappers that are all kind of notorious in the underground. So this is about to be like completely stacked. You got like entirety of like Company Flow and Def Jux people on there. You even got LP as a feature. That song's going to go insane. So I think Billy Woods can definitely hold his own and probably do better than a lot of those guys. So it'll be interesting to hear that. I think that's going to be a very different sounding project from him.
Yeah.
But that's become one of my most anticipated of the year immediately. It's so cool to like feel that like underground space. Because even Griselda's gone mainstream where you'll see people talking about it like constantly. But like he literally announced this through a newsletter on the email I get for the website for the label. And it's like, I haven't had something like that in a long time. Like probably since like Chance the Rapper, like SoundCloud days where everything just kind of like, here's a little announcement, not too much buzz about it. But it's a cool feeling. So I think people in the know are very excited for this one, and I'm very excited. So I'll be diving into that in April. But for now, we have, what else do we have this week? King Gizzard is back.
What?
And they are definitely back with an 18-minute single.
Holy moly.
Yes, this is from their new record. What is it? Omnium Gatherium or something? Gatherum, something.
Are they back on their math rock?
They're doing jam band stuff.
Oh.
So, yeah, this might be the best King Gizzard song, period. The Dripping Tap, 18 minutes and 17 seconds. It combines everything that they've done pretty much. But it's probably like the best King Gizzard song, just period. It goes through every single phase. It didn't feel like 18 minutes, but there's like wicked guitar solos where it's like super fuzzy guitars, and there's other guitar solos where it sounds like in Rainbow's level, like very pretty and like good guitars. There's even a harmonica and Fishing for Fishies-esque parts to it.
Yo.
But yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. I'm very excited for the record. I think they said it's 16 songs, and this song alone is 18 minutes, so I don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do a reaction to that one.
I don't know. We'll see how
too long.
lengthy it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could do a whole reaction video on this song alone because it's just so long.
That's true.
I don't know. It's one of the best songs of the year for sure. So I'm very interested to see. They in the interview, they sounded like they were going for a more jam bandy style, so hopefully the style carries throughout the record. Less of like Gumboot Soup is kind of a record where it's all B-sides of They're different records, so it's their jazz, it's their Fishing for Fishies, it's their more psychedelic rock. But this one sounds like it's just a jam band, so it's going to be all their styles in a more cohesive way. But
That sounds good.
you get the old school King Gizzard, the fuzzy guitars, you get the psychedelic rock of it, you get the more funky parts of it. I think it takes 18 albums to come up with a single this good. That's all jam band style improvisation type song. So very excited for that. I think this can live up to be one of the better ones in their catalog.
And that's tough to beat.
It is, with that many albums in it. What else do we have? I think that's it for new stuff, but
Wow.
I am doing a side adventure, side quest type
Side
beat.
quest.
Yes.
Holy moly.
I am diving into post-rock, and I'm not doing it on the channel because Jerry's head would explode and he would hate me and he would never do another video with me ever again.
That's
if I made
probably
him
true.
do any of this. But I want to dive into post-rock because the Black Country Road album is fantastic and it felt like a good introduction into post-rock. So I'm trying to go through the most popular post-rock albums to get into the genre because it's a genre I very much enjoy after the couple albums I've heard from it.
You should do Mezzanine.
Mezzanine. You'll see. I'm just kind of going off of like the most popular ones, but started with Godspeed You Black Emperor. I've been meaning to get into their music. Felt like this was a good time. Now that I work in an office, I can just put on an album. It's like what I used to do in college is I just put on a new album when I'm working.
That's true.
Haven't been able to do that in a while, but
It's got an office.
let's go.
Is it a corner office?
I do actually have a corner office.
Yo,
yes.
you are
As
hot
as
shit.
in I'm in the corner.
Oh,
So
oh
Even
okay.
better.
yeah. But Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven is the album title. That's their most popular one. It's the one with the hands on it. I think most people know that album cover. But it is 4 songs and an hour and a half. So if that's not enough of a turnoff for you, I don't know what is.
I would not like that at all.
The shortest song is 19 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But really fantastic album. It is the postiest of post rock. There's no singing. And it is incredibly drawn out. Imagine snow globes, but the build up from the starting point to when the drums go crazy is extended about 8 more minutes. And there's field recordings and ambient noises built into that.
Oh man.
Period.
Yeah, I would hate that.
And this is why I'm not doing it on the channel.
Yeah.
Also, there's not really anything to grab. Like, it's really fantastic, and I could break down certain things, but it's like, I don't know how people would even react to this album in a YouTube format. Because it is so much of like a very ambient, like, experience, kind of. But it's really good. I also want to get into... I'll probably do, like, 1 album review a week of this stuff, just to, like, slowly dive into it. I'm thinking
On the
Swans
podcast?
next. I might do Swans. Yeah, each podcast.
Okay.
I need to do Talk and Swans. Those are the 2 other big groups.
Isn't Swans? Oh, I know Swans. I think they're on the list.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think we have one of them on there. I don't know which one it is.
You can. I don't know. Is it the one with the little baby on it?
Oh, To Be Kind, maybe. To Be Kind is 2 hours though, so I doubt it.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have had that.
Yeah. What else do they have? I know Soundtracks for the Blind, also 2.5 hours. Man, that's like huge.
Let me see. I thought we had a Swans record on here.
Unless it's Leaving Meanings.
Maybe I
or
just
Leaving
saw a
Meaning.
comment and then I didn't do it.
You might have been like, no.
That could be.
Yeah, their shortest album is like an hour 30. So
Okay, yeah, it's not
but-
in the document, so I must have just.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
That makes
I want to get into them. I know most of their records are like extremely popular. But post rock is literally like would be torture to someone who isn't like super into like the freaking nerd side of music.
Yes.
But I'm gonna give it a shot because I'm really liking what I'm hearing so far. So I'll do Swans and then Talk because I think Talk is a couple classics. I should probably do Slint as well, just because Black Country is very similar to Slint. or at least the first album is. So I'll probably check that one out as well. But we'll start doing a dive into that.
Okay.
Slowly. I don't think I've done a deep dive into anything off camera since we've started the reaction series, so that should be fun.
Wow.
And I don't know, it always takes like one album or two albums to get me into a genre I haven't like explored yet, so it's kind of whenever that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I will do probably weekly reviews of whatever I listen to that week. But
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, the other stuff is just channel stuff, so you'll hear about it.
Channel stuff.
Yeah,
What channel stuff?
we just did Nick Drake.
Oh,
Other than that,
was
that's all I've been
nice.
doing.
that was a nice
Nick Drake was very
album.
nice. I love how I can listen to an entire Nick Drake album or one Godspeed You Black Emperor song. It's really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, retrospective this week.
Yes.
If you want to hear us talk about music at length on the main channel,
It's coming out. I'm editing it.
let's go.
Boy.
Yes. So it'll be coming out. I don't know. I might it might be Tuesday. Just because
Tuesday.
Today.
I've been moving around and a lot of stuff has been happening. So I'm going to try my best to get it out on Monday, but we'll see. This podcast will be coming out on Monday. That's for sure. Because I have to hold us to some sort of standard. We can't be beasts among
We are
men.
professionals.
Yes. Except when it comes to longer videos. Well, actually, the podcast is the longest thing we do. It just doesn't take long to edit.
Yeah.
So, listen to Nick Drake if you haven't. I really enjoyed it. I learned how to
I've been
play.
jamming it.
What is that? What's that interlude song? Is it
Horn. Yeah.
Yeah. I learned how to play that on the guitar, and it
Epic.
makes me sad every time I play it. So maybe I shouldn't do that.
That's like one of the songs where it like would make me want to learn guitar.
Yeah,
'Cause it's so simple, but it's also like really nice.
it's real. It's just 4 chords, just played
Yeah.
over and over. I was.
That's like
surprised.
songs I'll learn on the piano that are literally 4 chords, and I feel like a musical genius because it's like this sounds so pretty, and I'm literally doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, I love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to play guitar on the podcast? Leave a review on the Apple Podcasts.
Sound really great in the mics.
It would sound really good.
Really good. Listen to King Gizzard. Do it now.
I love King Gizzard. I was hoping that we were going to be getting King Gizzard next, but
Soon.
I'm not going to spoil what we got on the wheel this time
Okay.
because the video's not going to be out for another week.
True.
So I won't say, but I will say it's highly anticipated. A lot of comments have been asking.
I honestly
for this one.
forgot about what we were doing next, and yeah.
How could
Okay.
you forget?
I guess I just mentally blocked it out.
Okay, well,
That's Monday, isn't it? Wow.
no, we're not gonna edit. I don't want to shoot while I'm here. That's why we
Oh, yeah,
recorded
yeah.
Nick Drake ahead of time.
Okay. Good. I have another week to prepare. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So don't you worry. We'll get into it later.
We can probably ask Bab Jib if he wants to do that. That might be
That could be fun.
yeah.
That would be a good one.
For sure you will.
I'm sure the audience is on the edge of their seat. They have no idea what album
They
we're
have
talking
no
about.
idea. I'll give them a hint.
Don't.
It has been featured on Fantano's channel.
That really narrows it down. The dude that reviews every single piece of music.
I told him I was gonna give him a hint. I wouldn't say how good the hint was.
That's true. Okay. I like that.
They can go through the catalog and see based on context clues
Okay.
if they can guess. And if they do, then they'll earn my eternal respect.
Yeah, honestly, if anybody does that, then like, props, because I would not even do that. That's a lot of commitment.
If you can figure out what album we're talking about and post it in the comment section of the video when it comes out in a couple weeks, then I don't know. I don't know what you want. Send us an email and we'll put you on the
I'll
podcast.
send you a copy of the Best of Bread vinyl, unopened,
Oh,
because I haven't
wow.
opened mine.
You still
Sealed.
haven't opened yours?
I'll sign it.
Oh, that would be fun.
It's still in the plastic wrap.
There we go. We can. Babby signed Best of Bread vinyl.
I bought it
it's at
for
stake.
$1.50, and you
That
get it for
sounds
free.
about right.
That's a
I got it
$1.50
for-
value right there.
You got it for free?
No, I got it for $1.50, but they'll get it
Oh.
for free.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I think I got mine for free because nobody wanted it.
True.
So, hey, you know, bread's pretty good though. So it's actually a little bit of a treat. If you like soft rock, pretty good band.
Yeah, not bad. It's just
Yeah,
kind of a meme around here.
it's a little bit of a goof. So, there you go. Is that it for the podcast?
That's it. That's all I have.
Holy
Free.
moly. And that's not how we end things anymore.
I know.
Now we have to forget that we're doing a podcast and then you guys
And
call
then
me out on
awkwardly
it.
end it.
Yeah, it's more funny this way, I
Yeah.
think. I've gotten
You
some
think.
calls from people who have told me that it is very funny to them.
Seth Rogen actually called me last week.
Yeah, that's
Said he
right.
was laughing way too hard at our outro.
He was like, "Ho ho ho! I'm going to talk about this on."
I was listening to your podcast while making a new vase for my shop.
For some
I
reason, when
noticed your outro.
when you said Seth Rogen, I thought of Seth Meyers, and that's a different
Oh.
person.
Of course.
Yeah, he was like, I'm
Are they
making-
though?
Yes.
They seem pretty similar.
Do they?
Yeah.
One runs a. Is it a talk show or is it like a news?
They're both funny
thing?
men.
They are funny men. They were both on SNL.
True.
Seth Meyers wasn't on. Or no, Seth Rogen wasn't on SNL.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan was on SNL. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was. I didn't know that.
yeah. He
He
punched
did his
Kate
classic,
McKinnon in the mouth.
technique. He just sounded like a gorilla for 30 seconds and then humped a stool and left.
Yeah, they got him on.
Sounds about right.
What is it? Last week tonight? No.
Yeah.
What's that called? The news thing they do. I don't
don't
care.
know.
But it was him and
Annoying.
Colin Jost, and then Joe Rogan was like, "Hey, what's it like banging Scarlett Johansson?" And Colin Jost was like, "Whoa, man, we're supposed to talk about the news."
Whoa,
And
man.
then Joe Rogan's like, "This is the news," and then he just freaks out and
Yeah, I can see that.
he strangles someone in the orchestra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look up Joe Rogan stand-up comedy. That's your homework for this week.
I don't think I will.
Why?
Because it's awful, and I just need people to know how awful it is.
It's a Joe Rogan. Of course, it's awful. Anything attached
His
to
best
this
bit
man-
is he just humps a stool and then screams like a monkey.
Okay, now that sounds pretty funny.
It's so, yeah.
Do you think that like Dave Chappelle 2 years ago could have made that funny?
Yes.
Okay. Probably. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, he probably could have. But you know what
Dave Chappelle could make everything funny except transphobia.
That's what I was
So.
gonna say. Well, he could make, almost everything funny except for transphobia and the ending of podcast